Hey Think Tank, it's me Eric, one half of Think Tank, and I'm in a bit of a different setting today, actually the entire month. I'm on reserve duty, so for those who didn't know, I'm in the Air Force Reserves, and so for 1 month out of the year, I put on the uniform and I do something completely different from what you know me as, financial planner. Now I'm doing cyber, computers. Anyway, just want to kind of explain the setting, why I'm wearing this shirt. But today I have kind of a sobering message. I had not intended on delivering this particular message, but I tell you, the last week or so has been really eye-opening for me, and so I thought it best to tailor the message based on and just be authentic and real and upfront about what's going on in my life and how it's causing me to really have a personal reflection around life insurance and the role that it plays. And so last few days, I guess 5-7 days, last week or so, I've had just some major events happen to where I had an aunt who's very close to me pass away completely unexpectedly. We're talking in the hospital Friday, and she's passed away Tuesday. Incidentally, her third grandchild was born today. It's another event. And then finally, my sister, 22 years old, graduated college this past weekend. So a lot of life events which really caused me to reflect this weekend. And so I thought I'd just kind of speak to kind of how this has made me to think about just life in general, but also how it relates to life insurance and the role it can play. Because in each of those events, life insurance could play a pretty pivotal role in whether it's smoothing out life events or helping someone to reach their objective. And so first and foremost, my first reflection that I had here, if I can get this to work, life is too short. Tomorrow isn't promised. And I was reminded of that in a big way with the passing of my aunt. Again, no one expected it. Having hindsight is always 20/20. To be perfectly upfront, I'm not that guy who is going to speak about what I do to friends and family all the time. I don't want to be, my fear is that I don't want to be that guy that people want to avoid because I'm the life insurance guy. But the reality is it's something that needs to be talked about. And so going forward here, I'm not going to shy away from it. Do I know if she had insurance or not, life insurance or not? I'm not sure. I do know the statistics show. I do know the statistics, though, that 60% of people don't have life insurance at all. 85% are severely underinsured. And so, I know the family will be fine. But at the end of the day, could I have been more vocal about what I do? Absolutely. And so I encourage you all, if you have someone, a friend or family member who doesn't have coverage, I encourage you to, reach out and suggest it. Timing may not be right, but then again, the timing may be perfect. You just never know, okay? That's number one. Life is too short. Number two, births and graduations represent new beginnings. I had a cousin who had a baby, again, today, and also my youngest sister graduated college. Both are opportune times to really put a policy in place, whether it be an infant or a college graduate. And so I made sure I made sure that I mentioned it, and it's something that can really change someone's life, especially if you start when they're a kid, when they're an infant. Putting away $50, $100 a month can go a long ways in helping that child really have a fresh start. And really, especially along the way, if you have it structured as a banking policy to where you're now teaching your kid these values along the way, so they're not distracted by credit cards and such, and how they know the real value of money and the dollar and how to use it properly. So births and graduations are a great way, a great point to introduce this to someone in their lives and have that coverage in the banking policy aspect of things. Lastly, I will say, for me, again, this represented a time for personal reflection, and you look at any profession, whether it be a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic. A lot of times they're so focused on reaching out and helping other people fix their situation they don't pay enough attention to their own house, and their own house is in disarray, or their own health is in disarray. And so, we're all human here, and so I'm guilty of that myself. And so what this has really caused me and my wife to do is really step back, pause, and really self-assess our situation and ask ourselves, are we properly protected? Do we have enough coverage? And at the end of the day, we could probably use a little more coverage. And so that's exactly what we're going to do as soon as I get back from back to Utah. And we're going to get more coverage. The coverage that we're going to get is called convertible term coverage. It allows us to really, convertible term allows you to maintain, it preserves your health rating. Okay, so it preserves your health rating. So if you do get sick, if the doctor says tomorrow you're pre-diabetic, well, now all of a sudden, if you've got that convertible term coverage, you don't have to take an exam again if you want to, when you switch that to a banking policy. And so convertible term is very cheap. We're talking less than $1 a day in most cases for $1 million of coverage. And so it's something definitely to consider. Again, it's called convertible term coverage. If you want to know more about it, simply reach out to me or Brian. We can share that with you. But it allows you to have that coverage. It's ever so important. Get the right amount of coverage. At the same time, you're paying pennies on the dollar, and it allows you to preserve your health rating so that in the future, when you're ready to get another banking policy, you don't have to go through the medical portion again, medical approvals and the hurdles and such. Because who knows what tomorrow will bring? Again, not only is life not promised, but nor is your health. And so that really preserves that. And highly, highly recommended, not only if you are worried about that aspect of things, but also to get more coverage in place. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I hate to bring the. I know it's pretty heavy what I just shared with you, but I felt like it was important for me to share in hopes that maybe it might help someone else out there, wake someone else up. Maybe you've been on the edge, or you're thinking about sharing this with a friend or a loved one. Don't wait. Do it today. So, thank you. To your prosperity. Take care.